Hi, and welcome to APLYiD's workflow product. We're going to do a short introduction on navigating the platform. So when you first arrive on the home screen, you'll notice there's a new listing button here. Whenever you need to do a verification on any of your clients, whether you're running a property and needing to do it on the seller as well as the buyer, or you're running a legal matter and just need to do it on an individual client, this is where you'll kick off. If you're in legal, this might say new matter. In any case, this is going to be your main action when you come into the workspace. Kicking things off by adding a new listing, which will start the process of adding a matter or a listing and then taking you through the process of verifying one of your clients. Before we go into that, what we're going to show you on the left-hand side here is how to navigate and what these different tabs are used for. So on the left-hand side, you've got clients, which may be useful if you need to request any documents for high-risk clients. You don't typically need to add a new client from here. That's all done during your workflow sequence. Listings or cases, as we refer to them as, this may also be matters. You can go ahead and add one directly from this section. And similarly, you can sort them by the assignee, the status, or the risk levels, just so you can prioritize your action items that are required. You can start a new listing from here, or a new case, I should say, in the same way that you can start a new case from the home screen here. The monitoring tab here is useful for when you have a high-risk client that needs to undergo regular monitoring for any changes in their politically exposed person status. To do this, it's a matter of going into your clients and finding the appropriate person, and then simply toggling on this button, which will then enable the PEP monitor. You'll now notice that it then adds them into this section here, and once your relationship has been finalized or your business relationship has ended, you can then go ahead and remove them from this list. While this monitoring tab is active, this will run regular checks and notify you if they are caught in any politically exposed person reports. Templates, this is where you'll look at your risk assessment templates, whether that's a matter or a listing, as well as your customer risk assessment. At a high level, you can see here the different risk score thresholds. We manage all of this for you, so you don't need to make any changes here. And these review dates refer to how frequently you would need to do an additional ID verification and assessment on a client. For example, if you have a high-risk client that you're working with regularly, you would need to do a new ID check and client risk assessment at each year interval. Further down, you can see how the scores are ranked and therefore how your risk assessments are calculated. In any case, if you needed more information on the templates, you can go there and have a look. Reports, this is where you can download your usage reports for any extra details that you might need on your usage. And your settings tab, this is where you can navigate through to different details. For example, adding in new team members, changing your billing, uploading any of your AML policy documents, and changing various settings, including the address verification setting. And lastly, of course, we have APLYiD, which is our take on Wordle. This is a nice, fun word guessing game that you might be familiar with. If you have any questions on how it all works, we have a nice help center here that actually explains how to play the game.